Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the virtual open day of 2022. This is the OIC Disability Service section. We will be giving you an introduction, or rather myself, I'll be giving you an introduction to the OIC disability services that are available at UCT within the Disability Services Department. This support and services is for persons with invisible, visible, and temporary disabilities, as well as those with mental health concerns. Mental health concerns does include persons with severe anxiety and also extreme depression. My name is Ms Lesego Modutle, and I'm the Disability Advocacy Specialist at the Disability Services. You're welcome to email us throughout the presentation that I'm giving you today. I will be giving you different contact information, but don't really worry about that. Don't stress about it if you don't get it down. The most important one that I'd like you to remember is the disability service at uct.ac.za. So if you didn't catch anything today, or you don't feel comfortable to ask any questions via this platform, you can just pop us an email, and I promise you that we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Alternatively, you can call us on 021-650-2427. So for any support or services that you would like from us, or for any queries related to disabilities, whether it is on a temporary disability or an ongoing disability, you're welcome to contact us. I'm just going to take you through what we believe in, our vision at the UCT Disability Service, right? We work towards the creation of a discrimination-free and inclusive environment in which students and staff with disabilities can enjoy full, independent, and effective participation in all aspects of university life. So if you're at UCT and you have a disability, we want you to really be included in everything regarding your university, whether you are on campus or at res, or you're partaking in a UCT social society. You must feel included in it, and you must be able to participate fully, with us assisting you with what we call reasonable accommodations. But of course, just because we are assisting you or we're providing support and services does not mean that you are dependent on us. We really push for your independence. Right, so there I am. I'm the Disability Advocate Specialist, as I noticed earlier on, and my role is to go out and educate people on disability inclusion. So I create a lot of awareness on campus and around the UCT community as a whole. I also do a lot of disability-related information gathering and advocacy, like what I'm doing now, sharing information about what is available at UCT, is creating that awareness that we are disability inclusive, and that a university should be that way. I also provide assistance with students regarding obtaining NSFAS. Remember, NSFAS has got a regular pool where they provide students with funding, but for students with disabilities, they provide additional funding for reasonable accommodations. So if you're struggling to, access the disability-specific NSFAS, then you'll come to me and I'll provide you with the assistance. And I also ensure that the needs of students with disabilities are met on campus as well as in residences. So I'm the go-to person, but like I said, don't worry about my contact details. You can just go to the generic email and then it will get to me if it needs to. I have the barrier-free access specialist. Now she ensures that UCT is a barrier-free campus, right? All students with disabilities are supposed to gain access without any barriers, be this in your lecture theatre or be this in your room at res. She also manages the installations of assistive devices for persons who are deaf and that are using hearing aids. So if you have a hearing aid that has a T-coil function, you'll find that at UCT we have loop systems where if you switch your hearing aid to T-coil, we are able to hear clearly what the lecturer or the presenter is saying without that external white noises that sometimes interferes. If your hearing aid does not have T-coil, come to us and we'll assist you as well. Now, our barrier-free access specialist also conducts orientation for accessible routes. So if you're planning to come to UCT and you are a wheelchair user, or you're using crutches, or you have any mobility difficulties or challenges, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get around UCT? Because we all know it's built on a mountain with thousands and thousands of stairs. Don't worry, UCT does have accessible routes. So once you arrive, you will then email your timetable. Once you get it, your schedule, you'll email it to the barrier-free access specialist, and she'll make an appointment with you to come and take you through the accessible routes, so that you know how to get to your classes effectively, swiftly, and without any challenges. She also advises on the accessibility of UCT buildings. So if we are building a new building, she will come, assesses, and let people know where the lift must go, how the lift should function, and so forth. She also manages a volunteer group, so that if anybody at UCT comes across a broken lift, broken lift, or stairs that don't need railings, they'll report it to her, and she'll ensure that they get fixed or installed as soon as possible. And her name is Nolutando Ntsimango Teacher. Our direct services coordinator. So these are persons with sensory impairments, such as if you are blind, or if you are unable to use your dominant hand because you've broken your wrist, and you might need assistance in the form of human support, such as a note taker to go with you to your lectures, sit next to you, and then take down notes for you, right? This does not mean that you won't be attending your classes, doesn't mean that the note taker will be attending classes on your behalf. No, you will go with the note taker, sit in class, and as you're listening, they will then take down notes for you. For persons who are blind, we do have JAWS. I'm sure a lot of blind people knows how JAWS works, but if you don't, it is a software that's within a computer where if you need to read something off screen, it voices it out for you. So you'll be listening to what is on your monitor. And then when you need to input information, instead of typing, you'll simply speak, and then JAWS will type it up for you. So that's available within the disability service, as one of the services we can provide you with. If you have a visual impairment that is not corrected by just wearing glasses, for example, I need my glasses to see, right? And because of that, I'm not considered as a person with a visual impairment because my eyesight is corrected. But if you have a visual impairment where even though you're wearing glasses, you still cannot see, it means that you have a visual impairment, and you might be needing software such as print magnifiers or large screen computer monitors, and that is what my colleague Denise will assist you with. We also have services where we do text conversion, again for blind persons, where if something has a lot of pictures and you need it converted into text so that you can engage with the information, we provide that for you, as well as Braille. We also have a clinical psychologist. Our psychologist assists students with gaining extra time, right? And this extra time is generally based on accommodations for specific learning disabilities, as well as mental health concerns. Sometimes you might have mental health concerns that might hinder you when it's time to write your exams or your test. So you might need that to be postponed, right? So the clinical psychologist will be able to assist you with that process. Or perhaps you have a specific learning disability where your cognitive processing skills are a bit slower, and you will need that extra time in order for you to finish the work or to finish the test or exam that you need to do. The clinical psychologist will assist you in applying for that support services. We have a South African Sign Language interpreter. It's very important that I do say South African because we provide sign language services in South African Sign Language. What most people aren't aware of is that each country has its own sign language. Therefore, if you are using American Sign Language, it's going to be difficult for us to provide that support for you because our interpreters use South African Sign Language. But that's also something that you'd come to us and then we'll discuss and find a way on how best we can assist you. And of course, our sign language interpreters are fully trained and fully skilled. administrative assistant that manages the administrative task on a daily basis. But another service that is quite unique to UCT is that we have a disability accessible bus, and this is for persons who are wheelchair users or those that really have quite severe mobility challenges, that they can come and use our services. Remember, UCT has free shuttles that shuttle you around from where you are based to campus and back again. Therefore, it is only fair that our students with disabilities also have the same service, and that service is housed by us. Right? I will show you later on the picture of our accessible bus so that you can see the difference between that and the blue UCT bus. Of course, we have our manager, the captain of the ship, Ms. Edwina Gore, and she's got an open door policy so that if you have any requests or any queries, you're welcome to email her as well. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the work that we do. This doesn't cover everything, but it's just to give you the idea of the kind of services that the kind of offerings that we give on top of everything that I've managed to convey to you, that I've mentioned before. So we provide disability sensitization, which means that we train the whole of UCT, staff members and students on disability inclusion and awareness. We create a platform where students with disabilities themselves share their experiences, stories, and best practice when it comes to disability practices. Remember, persons with disabilities always say nothing about us without us. So we ensure that we include them in every decision that we make about them. We provide sign language interpreting services, as I previously mentioned, and we also provide additional assistive devices based on your disability. So we do not treat any disability as an umbrella. We don't take an umbrella approach, right? So we've got two students here, for example, who have visual impairments, yeah? But their visual impairments are different. Therefore, we provided them with assistive devices unique to their disability. So it is very important that we engage with you and we consult with you, and then you guide us on the support and services that you need. We also provide psychometric testing. Psychometric testing is to gauge whether you have a specific learning disability, and once we've gauged that, we then advise on the best reasonable accommodations for you. Here's our accessible transport. On the screen, I have a picture of our transport with the doors open, where there is a ramp that goes out, and a student on a wheelchair can then go onto the ramp, and they are assisted into the vehicle by our drivers. Now, our drivers are trained on how to operate these buses, how to assist the student wheeling in, and also how to put in the safety belts so that the student is always safe from the beginning of the ride to their destination. We also receive various trainings as staff members. Here is when we were receiving training on how to evacuate persons with disabilities from a building should there be an emergency such as a fire. We all know that the lifts will not operate, but a person who's a wheelchair user will then be need to get out of the building. And we don't want anybody picking up anybody, because we want to, uphold your dignity, and therefore we use evacuation chairs, and we are trained on how to evacuate staff and students with disabilities out of a building using stairs. We also participate in para sports, because, when you go to a university, it's not just about the books and, getting your A's and so forth, but you also, for a wholesome experience, you also want to exercise your body, you also want to have fun, you also want to, become parts of clubs and society. So para sport is one of them that is for persons with disabilities, but in its inclusive nature, we also welcome persons without disabilities to join and have fun with us. So on the screen, you have a picture of us playing wheelchair rugby, and then on the left is us playing goal ball. Once you request assistance from the disability service. We provide it to you from the time you commence your studies up until graduation. So even within graduation, if you need any assistance, we provide it for you. We also have a hoist. If you can see where I'm moving my mouse right now, that is a lady who got onto stage using a hoist because she is a wheelchair user. The VC waits for you to come on stage and caps you, but if you're unable or choose not to go to stage, you can remain at the bottom of the stage. She will come down the stairs and come and cap you. So really, we give you that choice of choosing the option that's more comfortable for you. Here is a demonstration, or a picture rather, of one of our deaf students that graduated, and there was a sign language interpreter made available for her at graduation. Please do come visit us anytime. You can pop in, ask some questions, check it out. Our offices have been renovated, so I'm very excited about that. We also have a lab where we house our computers with all our assistive devices. If you want to come have a look at them, come and try them out. We also have a day house that we would like to show you that is, fully kitted with a kitchen. Students can go there and they can just chill if they just want some quiet time. We also have a bed for students who need to have their naps in between. So it's really a vibe, okay? Come to the disability service. It's in the Steve Biko Students Union building on the 6th floor. We are accessible from the 6th floor. Otherwise, if you're going to come in from the 4th floor, there are lifts inside. We are on social media. Our website is currently getting revamped, but you can go there now and check out how it currently looks like. We are at uct.oic, or on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, UCT-OIC. Engage with us. If you find any articles on disabilities, or if there's anything you want to share with us, do tag us. We love hearing from you, and I hope that we will also get to meet you soon. Thank you so much. Okay, I have one question from Anonymous saying, what accommodations do you have available for neurodivergent students? Right, so our psychologist, our in-house psychologist that I mentioned earlier, she's the one that provides accommodations for students with neurodivergence. And there is an array, but one of them that I find that students who are neurodivergent, what they really appreciate and what works well for them is extra time accommodations. So if they're needing extra time for their tests and exams, or they are needing their assignments to be postponed, the date for the assignment to be postponed, the psychologist will assist with that process. We also have a day house that the students can come and make use of, because some students prefer to be away from, the noise and the business of being on campus, and they just require that secluded, quiet, or secluded safe space. They come to our day house and make use of that space. We also have carers. We call them carers, and they work closely with our students, because we have some students who prefer to be escorted to class, or just somebody to walk next to them, not necessarily to have a conversation with, but just for somebody to work with next to them so they can have that comfort up until they get into class. So it is based on what you would like us to provide for you. What if you are a neurodivergent student and you have come in with specific accommodations that you want or that you think would work well for you? We invite you to a round table discussion. The round table means that you'll be coming, sitting with us, and you will let us know, right, I would like this and this and this and that and that, right? And then within our different portfolios that I mentioned earlier on, myself as advocacy, barrier-free access specialist, psychologist, direct services specialist, we will put together that array of accommodations that you have requested, right? But if we maybe see that, you might benefit from this, but you haven't mentioned it, we can also offer it to you and you let us know if it will work for you. So thank you so much for that question. Right, I think that might have been the only question for today. I hope I've answered your question. If not, you're welcome with a follow-up. And remember, you can email us on disabilityservice at uct.ac.za.